Hey guys, welcome to the channel. Welcome back to the channel. Welcome to another foggy morning here at Lake of the Ozarks. I decided to come out again, shoot another video talking about different areas of the lake, and obviously this is my neck of the woods on this one. So I'm talking about further remote, right? Remote lake life, living, and trying to get further down the lake than where we have been. I've been showing content and videos talking about different areas of the lake and moving further and further away. So hey, before we get going too far, I want to pull up a map. I want to show you where we are and then talk about some of the pros and cons of being in this area. So let's pull up a map of Missouri. When you're looking at it, you got Kansas City on one side, St. Louis on the other side. Go to the middle, go down, that's where you're gonna find the lake. I'm always referring to this lake like an ancient Chinese dragon. So depending on where you are on the lake, depends on the body part of the dragon, but you got your head, neck, belly, legs, and then the tail of the dragon that goes all the way back down to Warsaw. So over the past kind of few weeks, month and a half or two, we've been kind of working our way around, right? Head, neck, belly area, which is Lake Ozark, Village of Four Seasons, into Osage Beach. You kind of get down to the legs, which is the Camdenton area. We did a Lynn Creek kind of video. Sunrise Beach, and then now we're moving down the lake, which is the tail. And if you've watched the video or if you know anything about me, right, you know that we live down on this part of the lake, and so we're way down on the 42. So when you get down this far on the lake, there are for sure pros and cons of living this far, but I wanted to try to come out, and I'm realizing that it can be tricky early in the morning to show some content because it's clearly foggy and I'm just floating out in the middle of the water right now, but it is super calm, super chill and peaceful. But nevertheless, I wanted to kind of share some insight on why we chose this part of the lake, and maybe more people are maybe migrating a little bit down here, but there are for sure some cons for you to think about. And I think it probably makes a lot of sense, right? The further away you get from town, the more travel time you're gonna have towards amenities and those things that you're looking for. So if you need ease and convenience, right? You gotta have grocery stores close by, hardware stores, gas stations. You gotta have the bigger amenities like the Lowe's and Targets and Walmarts and those kinds of things. Man, living down the 40 or 50 mile marker area, you are going to have some drive time to get there. It may not look far, but I promise you the topography and how to get around this lake is extremely difficult if you're not used to it. So if you have a lakefront property down in this area, I promise you it's going to take 10-ish minutes, 15 minutes probably to go from your property and wind yourself all the way out just to get to the main road. So once you're on the main road, then obviously it's going to take you another 20 to 30 minutes to go from your place off that main road into town for any type of convenience. So you are going to have drive time, curvy, steep, gravel roads. Like, it is going to take you a while to go from your place to where you got to go. So again, I can't harp on it enough. If you desire convenience, right, and got to be close to things, and I want to run out and grab a coffee or hit an early breakfast or something like that, then we gotta make sure we put you in the right location. This might not be the best area for you because of the remote kind of lifestyle. You are for sure separated from those amenities. You are going to have drive time, and so that's something for you to think about and consider. If you gotta be close, this is probably not gonna be the spot for you. If you're okay with a little bit of distance and separation and drive time, and that's what you're looking for is, hey, I don't want to be around all you people or all that congestion or tourism, then maybe this is a good spot for you. So if you're not looking for super ease and convenience and you're okay with a little bit of separation, then this could be a really good spot. It is more peaceful. It is less congested. You don't have all the tourism traffic and busy roadways, super busy waterways, so like, for us, we like to go out and surf and ski and tube and float with the kiddos, and you can find a lot of coves and a lot of nooks and crannies down here, and you have wooded areas and it's separated, right? I think you're kind of getting the point that if you're okay with a little drive time or a little bit of distance because you desire a different kind of environment, right? It's more calm and peaceful and chill and relaxing, quiet. Like, it's a different vibe, but pros and cons to all of those, right? It depends on, again, who you are, what you're looking for, what you need, kiddos in school, retirement, close to amenities or hospitals and facilities. Like, just gonna have to kind of weigh those pros and cons. The further down the tail you go, the further away that you're gonna be. However, there's also a difference between being on the tail, kind of goes east and west. Okay, so it goes east and west. We'll pull up a map again. If you live on the south side of that tail, you are gonna have a lot less amenities. If you live on the north side of that tail, then you actually do have the town of Lori, which is fairly close by and does have a lot of amenities. So, you know, we talk about location of this lake and being in certain areas and, you know, again, drive time and all that stuff. It's super important to know that on one side versus the other side, your drive time and how to get across the lake and travel around is gonna be a thing. You're gonna want to try to explore that a little bit. So, you know, in hindsight, if I would have snagged a property on the north side of that tail, I'd be a lot closer to Lori and gas stations and grocery stores. My wife would be less pissed off most of the time. But so anyway, it would be more convenient. We would have an easier drive and commute to some of those things. We're on the south side of that tail, and so there's not a whole lot. There are some scattered gas stations and some Dollar Generals and some local kind of stores, but certainly not the convenience of what you would need on a everyday, again, run out and grab a coffee and hey, I'm just gonna go and pick up some eggs or some milk real quick. It doesn't kind of work like that. But however, there are some other kind of pros to this area. Again, as we know, depending on where you live, when you're in the heart of that area and community, which is kind of our Osage Beach area, the cost of living to be there could be a little bit higher, right? The price point of homes are a little bit higher. Well, when you get down towards the 40, the 50 and further, yeah, you're further away from things, but your cost of living goes down too. You have more property options at a lower price point than you would if you were kind of in that Osage Beach area. So you get a little bit more house, you pay a little bit less than you would in those areas. So if you're on a budget, or you know, you're retiring or you're selling to buy and you want your dollar to go a little bit further, yeah, your drive time's a little further, but your dollar gets stretched a little bit the further away you get from it. So there's a lot of great properties down here, a lot of great single family homes, cool communities, you know, year-round folks that are down in this area. So some good choices, right? If maybe you're looking for a second home or a vacation home, these are great areas to do it as well, right? All you have to do is pack your coolers up as much as you possibly can and bring in your food, and try not to make many trips into town. Like typically maybe one trip into town just to get those last minute kind of things you might have forgotten. But you know, being down here allows you to separate yourself from congestion and tourism and those kinds of things, and you feel like you're in your own kind of little world. You know, I guess being further away from things, again, it has its pros and cons. But if you're looking for some nature, looking for a different lifestyle, a little bit more calm and peaceful, a little bit slower, like this could be a really good option. And for some people, it's just flat out not going to work because you got to be close to things, and I can 100% understand that. For some others, if you want to maybe retire or put your kiddos in a different kind of environment, this area is great for that outdoor lifestyle. A lot of hikes, a lot of nature. You know, you can go camping real easy. You can still get places. It's just going to take you a little bit of time. But if you're thinking about moving here, relocating here, we for sure want to grab a phone call. So I say it right. Text me, call me, email me. Let's jump on a Zoom call. We would love to have you come into town. So let's host you. Come into town. We can show you around. But you'll drive down to this area and you'll hang out on the water or whatever. And I mean, you'll fall in love. It's gorgeous and it's beautiful. And I think there's pretty much every area around this lake is like that. But you got to be able to feel that drive. You got to be able to feel that distance. And if you meet up with us in town at the Osage Beach kind of office and we start there and we drive here, you'll get a good feel for what that drive time is. And you'll either say, yep, I think I can do this, it's all good, or you're gonna scratch it off your list real quick. And so anyway, I thought it'd be fun again, jump on the boat, come out here. I wish I could show you a better lay of the land than obviously floating close to the shoreline. Again, it was a super foggy morning and had to kind of hang out close to shore, and obviously with that you just get trees and cliff sides behind me. But trying to show you different areas of the lake. If there's things that you need to see or questions you have, or there's videos that you think would be helpful for you, leave a comment down below, like the video, share it, text me some ideas. Whatever we can do to help you out and be a resource for your potential relocation is obviously what we want to do. So call, text, email, jump on a Zoom call, come into town. Whatever we can do to help you, let me know. Until then, we'll see you guys on the next video.